Hey, Evan from Midway Nissan here. This time doing a quick walk around of a 2022 Nissan Sentra SR Premium. Disregard the license plate frame on the front of the vehicle. This is a 2022 model of the Nissan Sentra. The SR Premium, which this is the very top of the line for the Sentra, which comes with the LED headlights, daytime running lights, and fog lights. And you'll notice the individual lights on the indicators there, which is actually exclusive for the lighting package on the SR Premium. You, like many of the other Nissan vehicles, do have remote start built into the key. Lock button 2 times, hold down the top button for 5 seconds. It does have the intelligent climate control system, which will bring the interior to 20 degrees, depending on what the temperature is outside. That would be raising or lowering the temperature to bring it exactly to 20 every single time. Being the SR or up, any of these Sentra models will come with the 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels, which are black in color with a 5-spoke design. Looks really, really aggressive. These Sentras do come with disc brakes all the way around in every single trim level. You'll notice this one also does come with the buttons built into the 2 front doors to lock and unlock with key proximity. You do have the LED turn signal indicator built into the mirror, as well as down below in the mirror an extra camera for the intelligent around view monitor, which compiles to become a 360 backup camera for the vehicle. You do have parking sensors built into the rear bumper, which will detect anything as far as you're backing up, beep as you approach anything, then automatically hit the brakes when you get too close. Same thing for going forward. It'll be able to detect an impending collision, alert you to it. If you don't react in time, hit the brakes automatically. This being the SR trim level, so SR Premium does have all the SR features. So you do have the spoiler up top, as well as the rear diffuser design, which is kind of like a darker chrome finish down below. Looks really sharp. Trunk space in these Sentras is huge. Button to lock and unlock right there, as well as on the interior and built into the key. You also do have your backup camera. And those rear seats do, in the case you needed any extra space, fold down, of course, to allow for that. Underneath this cover, you do still have the spare tire, jack, and accessories, unlike many other vehicles in this segment, which come now with a patch kit. All the Nissan vehicles do come from the factory with the carpeted mats, like you see there. And then for this SR trim level, you do have the chrome exhaust finisher, like you see down below. Coming around to the rear of the vehicle, starting from the door card of the SR Premium, you do have the orange contrast stitching to go along with the black leatherette inserts on the inside of the door, which pairs nicely with the carbon fiber-like trim right around the power window switches. Coming around to the interior, much like those door cards, you do have the leatherette seats throughout, which is Nissan's Primatex leather, with the contrast orange stitching all the way throughout the interior. USB port on the back of the center console for any of the passengers to charge their devices. You do have 3 seatbelts back here. Center fold down with the armrest for any cup holders for the rear passengers. Bottle holders, of course, built into the doors. And you do have speakers built into the door cards as well. Like I mentioned before, buttons to lock and unlock with key proximity. So even if you didn't have the key in your hand, it were just in your pocket, you can easily grab that to climb in and out of the vehicle. Like I mentioned before, when you remote start the vehicle, it will be cranking the heat to bring it to 20 on a cold day like today. So if I start the vehicle up, you'll see that slowly, without me touching anything, bring that temperature all the way back down. That way you can have the temperature set however you had before. So it will default to 20 degrees no matter what. And then as soon as you start the vehicle, go back to however you had set it previously. This Sentra does, of course, have power mirrors, windows, and door locks. You do have your Sport and Eco modes. Eco here, Sport on the shifter, gauge cluster brightness, trip reset, trunk opener. And this Sentra is equipped with the Bose sound system. So you'll notice on the doors up front, you have a little badging there. Does up the power of the system. The Nissan doesn't declare the exact wattage of it, but it does for sure sound far more clean. The vehicle, like I mentioned, does have LED headlights, daytime running lights, fog lights, and high beams, which are full LED. So if we leave the high beams in automatic, we leave the headlights rather in automatic like this, push it forward for high beams, it will never actually turn on the high beams until it detects there's no vehicles coming toward you. It is dark outside, and you're on a 2-lane road. The vehicle does, of course, have your sound controls right from the steering wheel, along with your buttons to adjust the screen between the gauges, where you can see a digital speed readout if you so choose, the top speed that you traveled, your driver assistance settings where you can enable or disable all the different safety systems of this vehicle. This Sentra does, of course, have lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, forward and rear emergency braking, speed limit sign, so it'll show you in the gauge cluster the most recent speed sign that you had passed, parking sensors for the rear, which you can change the volume and distance for, rear cross traffic alert, driver alertness, in case you were to lose attention, or low temperature alert and a drive timer alert. The vehicle, of course, does also have adaptive cruise control in this trim level, so you can set the speed you wish to maintain and then the distance you wish to maintain between you and vehicle in front, where the vehicle will modulate both gas and brake to maintain that distance. It will go all the way down to a stop at 0 kilometers an hour, or all the way up to 140 kilometers per hour, depending on how you have it set and the distance between you and the vehicle in front. The steering wheel does tilt up and down, telescope in and out. The vehicle does, of course, have dual zone temperature control. You can change the temperature independently on each side. Heated front seats and heated steering wheel, front and rear defrost. And then you do have the 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built right up top. Both of these two USB ports, the Type-C and Type-A, will work for Apple CarPlay, and then the port in the back seats is just for charging. You do also have auxiliary and an additional 12-volt port in the case you needed to charge any devices. Push-button start does come as standard on these vehicles, along with the automatic transmission, which you can get the manual transmission option, which is very rare in both the base model and the SR non-premium trim. Center console, as always, is quite deep. In this trim level, of course, does come with the moonroof overhead, power sliding, and then you can slide it closed, tilt it however you like, and it is tinted from the factory, so it'll already be darker if you see coming from here than the side windows. These Sentras pose a fantastic value and are really, really hard to get a hold of these days, so if you are interested, we are now placing orders for the 2023 model year, hopefully getting some in stock very soon. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to help get you all the information that you need. You will see the brochure listed down below with the description of the video. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them. A like always helps as well. Till then, bye for now. Hope you stay safe.